Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I'm so thankful that we all made it to 2024. There
Yeah.
was one time I was hearing this speaker, and one of the things that he said is, often we thank God when we have like a near miss of something bad or after the fact. But he said, I thank God every time I make it up the stairs without falling. And I thank God with the things that we think are just the everyday natural. He's like, I just always like thank God that I was able to do that. And because it's really him that gives us the ability to move and breathe. And so I thank God that we made it to 2024 and for
Amen.
all that is ahead of us this year. I'm excited for each of you students and your academics and what's happening this year. So, something that, as Cyril mentioned, we are going to talk about today is our goals. And it's important that we have this balance in our life of dreaming big and setting goals. And so, first, let's start with typically January 1st or New Year's Eve, people talk about making a New Year's resolution. So, in the chat, I would like you to comment whether you could just put a check mark or an X or whether you like New Year's resolutions or not. And if you like them and you're willing to share, if you made a New Year's resolution this year, please put it like something that you're willing to share, please put it in the chat. So if you like New Year's resolutions, you don't like New Year's resolutions, and if you made one and you want to share. Ashley doesn't like them. Bree likes them. Maddie didn't make one. Got some yes and no's. Write down 3 things that I'm thankful every day. So I I hear this all the time, this for and against New Year's resolutions, because often people don't stick to them. They have this idea of how about we're going to eat healthy in 2024. And 2 weeks in, they are craving that soda, they're craving those potato chips, and the eating healthy goes out the door completely. And so I was looking it up, and actually, Forbes did a health poll last, and they said on average, that people stick to their New Year's resolutions on average for 3.5 months. Some don't even last the first month, and some make it to 4 months, but usually by 3.5 months, that's it. People have given up on their exercise plan, they're eating healthy, they're going to bed early, whatever it might be. And so, like someone mentioned in the chat, they don't make resolutions, but they like, I think it was Maddie said, I just set goals as the year goes by. And so that is exactly what we are going to look at today is setting some goals. And sometimes we have to think about the big goals that we're chipping away at, but then we also need goals for the month, goal for the semester, whatever it might be. And not too long ago, I was reading this thing and it said, first, we dream. We dream about what we want to do, or we dream about whatever the subject is, whether it's for academics, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's projects that need to be done. We start to dream about how we want it to be. That's the first part. And then once you write down that dream of something, you write it down, and that then becomes your goal. So you write it down, you stick a date on it today, and that becomes your goal. Then, when you start to break down the goal in steps, okay, this is how I'm going to achieve it. If I want to graduate high school and go to college, how am I going to break this down in the steps? What do I need to apply for? Do I need to do volunteer work? What do I need to get ready to do and prepare myself and train in? all of these things, breaking it down into the steps, then that becomes a plan. So first we dream, then we have a goal, then we set a plan. And as we put that plan into action, then that dream has now become a reality. So just now, and I know we haven't had a lot of time to think, but if you're willing to share, do you want to put in the chat something that, whether it's still in the dreaming stage or it's in the goal stage, what is some inkling of some goals that you have for 2024?
Getting into a nursing program. Ashley Jonathan.
Yeah. I see my college classes. Great goals.
They're just waking up to it, Dr. Les.
Ah, your brains are still, you're still in the
Yeah.
dreaming. You're still in the dreaming stage. Ending off my college semester with A's.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Doing good in sports and school.
Give them a minute, Dr. Les, to see if any other answers we do have.
And if even our volunteers on the line, if you have some goals this year, I'm putting one of my goals in.
Write a new book. Wow.
Mhm. My husband and I just published a book in the fall called it just left my brain, so I'm still waking up to The Ultimate Marriage Survival Guide.
Oh, wow.
And so and I already have some new ideas for a new book, the next one. So just have to find the time to write it out. Doing good in school, get a job, learn how to drive. That's exciting. Mr. Cyril, what's one of your goals this year?
Like I said, I'm hoping to get this school complete. At least the initial part of it complete, That's, whether I'm doing any physical work, but I'm driving everybody crazy to do it.
Yep. Sometimes that's the most necessary work is driving everyone else crazy to get them to do their work.
Yes, being more
And I,
consistent with studying.
Good.
may I ask that the Samsung being more consistent with studying, who is that person? I want to be sure we get all of the attendance just right. You probably put your name already up there, but we want to be sure that just put the Samsung, please.
Samsung is Ty Bowser.
Hi. Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, this is a great start. And I would encourage all of you to actually take the time and write down what your goal is and then go to put your date on it today. This is my goal for this semester, for this season, and then put some thought into it of breaking it down into steps. What does it look like to be more consistent in studying? What does it look like to do good in school? And so putting down these steps of what that looks like to finish your semester strong with A's. What are the steps that are involved to making that a reality? And so you might want to make sure that you know you are going to study these nights of the week, no matter what, I don't go out with my friends. I turn off my social media and I'm going to read through my notes and I'm going to study, whatever it might be. Actually, write down that plan because that's when you truly make that plan the reality. And you can look back then once June hits and look back at the semester and say, I did it. I was successful. I got A's. I did accomplished what I needed to. But it's because I had this plan. I knew I was going to study on these nights and I knew I was going to practice on these nights. And for my sports, I knew I was going to work out and train and only put healthy food in my body and whatever it might be. But to write down those steps, write down that plan so that you can continue to hold yourself accountable and be successful in that goal. Now, with this is always the danger of the P word, and the P word is procrastination. Procrastination is that thing that can, tell us, oh, it can wait till tomorrow. Oh, I can play one more round on this video game. Oh, I don't need to worry about that yet. That essay isn't due for 3 weeks. All of these things, but we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know if our printer's not going to work. We don't know if our internet's going to be down. We don't know what we might face, or something happens and our day is totally taken from us because we have to help a family member or whatever it might be. So there's this great meme, this picture, and it says, procrastinators unite tomorrow. And it's just like they could take over the world, but they're going to do it tomorrow. And tomorrow obviously never comes. And so I just really want to encourage you to not fall into the trap of procrastination. If you know that you need to get something done, even if it's not due for a few days or for a week, I would focus as soon as you can on getting it done right away because we don't know what will happen. When I was in college, I made it a point that whatever I had due, whatever paper and assignment, I would make sure that my goal was to always have it completely done, printed, whatever I needed to, 24 hours before it was due. So that if I did come into a problem, whether it was with my technology, whether it was with I needed to focus on something else completely outside of school because life happens, family things happen. I knew that that assignment was taken care of and I could put my focus where I needed to. So I just want to encourage you to not get sucked into the evil procrastination and to just get those assignments done, take care of it in the moment, and you will set yourself on the right track to be successful with getting those goals completed. All right, Cyril.
Awesome. But Liz, one of the things that on my procrastination list is like to respond back to the emails before I go down to sleep. It's like a tons of them that's on your inbox, and you're like, oh, it's in the email. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. And the other one is like a voicemail too. But Dr. Liz, before you leave, I just want to ask you, tell us a little bit about your patriotic club. I know you're passionately pushing that on the road. You've been talking to people. Tell us a little bit about it and why is this your passion?
Sure. So a couple years ago, I started a nonprofit organization called Patriotic Students of America. And it is to encourage young people to start clubs, whether at their schools or just in their neighborhoods, at their churches, wherever it might be. It could be anywhere. But to come together and to learn about great Americans throughout history, this nation has been filled with amazing inventors and artists and musicians and just amazing people. And so in the club, they learn about these great Americans. They also learn about the Constitution because it's important that we understand the foundation of this nation and what our rights are and our responsibilities are. And then with it, then comes a challenge to invite young people to be about something greater than themselves. And so every month there's an action challenge to either go volunteer to help the needy, to honor a veteran, to just find a way to serve in some way or to honor. And so this is important to me because I just see around, like, you don't have to try hard to see negative. You don't have, it's like everywhere we look people are speaking negative and talking badly and just like tearing down things about this great nation. And this is the greatest nation in the world. Like, people literally are fleeing from their nations to come to our nation because it's the best nation. And so I just felt this passion in my heart to inspire young people, one, to understand how great our nation is, to understand the great people who have developed things or invented things, and then to inspire our students to want to be great. And so, whatever your sphere is, maybe it's in sports, maybe it's in music, maybe it's in math and technology, whatever it might be, but to inspire our students to want to do something great, whatever your lane is, whatever your passion is, but to want to be about something bigger than themselves and to be great and then continue to look for greatness in other people. One other thing that we do is every month in our clubs, we honor either someone in the club who's doing something that needs to be honored, or the club will go to somewhere in the community to honor an organization or a business or even just another person who's doing something great, who's helping people or just working to better our society and our communities. Because what you honor, you get more of. And so we are always trying to train our students to honor others. Like, when you catch them doing something great, honor that, make a big deal about it, because then others are going to want to do something great also. And so this is just a passion for me because I think everyone is created to be great in some way, whatever their passion is. There's something in each one of us to be great. And we're not just created to just sit back and be mediocre, but we were made in the image of God. And so we are created to do something great. And so really my passion is to inspire students to really walk in that greatness and inspire others to be great also.